from Maharashtra as well. Big call he took in his life to move to the US 3 years ago and pursue cricket at the highest level. Kyle Klein.
The ball is coming quite nicely onto the bat, and you can imagine that will only increase that pace off delivery, but slides on. So even though it's a slower ball, there is no grip on the surface, through bat and pad, top of leg stump. And that's what you want to do on a surface like this. Try to keep the stumps in play as much as possible. They'll figure that out, and I'm sure the USA bowlers will be gleaning that knowledge as well. Change and field, long on to mid-on.
That's because he was going short. Otherwise, you want mid-on and mid-wicket back for Anjane. He scores a high percentage of his runs in that region, as he did against Pakistan. You'll see one of the shots of the tournament for me when he took down Shaheen Shah Afridi. There we go. Just stand and deliver, lofted it in style. He wasn't done. Shaheen Afridi for another memorable occasion. Half century in an ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Backtracking the fielder. My goodness, what a way to bring up 50. Take a bow. Side there, Jammu Kamala. Back in the side in the most glorious half century. Appreciated by the dugouts. The United States love this.
His first in the T20 World Cup, and you mentioned a shot of the tournament previously. This is up there as well. Over extra cover, over the fielder, over the boundary. A magnificent strike. This has been a sublime innings from him.
Again, Badri, line. The minute you get the stumps into play, that's how Kyle Klein got that first wicket. You broke it down, the adjustment in line and the fuller length. This time that length not as full, so the LBW field was turned down.
But you got to give it to these guys, the way they've come out and play in the power play, their best ever power play score in T20 internationals, and then post that to maintain the tempo. Quite a lot of teams sort of slow down, decelerate post the power play, but not them, not tonight.
I don't think he's going to give him a lot of width. To that most glorious shot for 6. That's not a small boundary in the offside. That's why the fielder at the sweeper cover was standing a little bit in, thinking he'll still be in it. We're well on track for 200. Wickets in hand, batting to come. Just eyeing the leg side for this last ball. Good over for the United States. 9 off it. 114 for 3.
Yeah, you come to Chennai and you're thinking that the surface will play in a particular way. Hasn't quite panned out like that. When you look at the previous matches as well, the ball is coming nicely onto the bat. There isn't much grip, there isn't much assistance for the spinners. And so you've got to make that adjustment in real time, both in terms of your team selection and then your modus operandi with bat and ball.
They have to make sure they make the most of this foundation, because the Netherlands, very confident chasing unit, have the upper hand head-to-head between these two nations, but they also have an excellent record chasing. Here's Basteleda. Key to their chasing success is Basteleda's batting form.
Yeah, what a knock this is. Just a crisp stroke play from Mukamala on both sides of the wicket, down the ground as well, and against both pace and spin. He was particularly savage to the offside. That shot brought up the half century. Some pace, some real pace from Bastilleida. Anything that's wide, any bit of width, just look at what that batting strike rate looks like, 420. So that zone is where you want to keep away from, and if you're on the stumps, look at how drastically that drops to just 29. So a clear disparity there.
It's in the gap. Almost found the gap. And even more impressive considering not only was he brought back in the side after being left out, but asked to batch 3, captain choosing to open. He's only 21 years of age. Boy born in Plainsboro, New Jersey. Franchise experience with the Texas Super Kings. Can't underestimate value of MLC experience, T20 leagues, sharing dressing rooms with the best. These guys grow their cricketing journeys. A phenomenal inning so far. Needs to carry on.
Yeah, quite a lot of these American players too, Ronak, they have experience playing here in India. A lot of them have grown up here, have returned, have done a lot of training camps. Just like the Dutch, prior to the World Cup, the Dutch spent a lot of time here in Chennai in preparation, knowing their fixtures, that they'll have a couple games here. And I just wonder if they were caught a little bit by surprise by the surfaces that have been served up.
Good clear, fine leg. And we'll go for 4. The first boundary for Shubham Ranjane.
He harbours ambitions of being a top all-rounder in world cricket, and also showing a bit of innovation and understanding of where the fielders are. It's so important that you are tuned to what is happening around you, what is happening in the moment. They're enjoying it. It's been a sensational display so far.
End of the 13th. They motor on the USA. 1-2-2 for 3. And here's Ian Bishop.
Yeah, Katie Martin was talking about slow balls. Bastilleida on the left of your screen. Look at how high his arm is. It's actually just before what we call 12 o'clock. Logan Van Beek is probably on 12 or just fractionally inside. He falls away a little bit more. So there'll be a slower ball that is more amenable to his action, whereas Baz, as we talked about, right over the top, he's got a slippery bumper and he can offer a lot of variation. There's a lot to like about Bastilleida with his batting, with the number of variations he can deliver. A lot of that for Ronak and Samuel is on action.
Just breaking down the skills of Bastilleida, the slow ball, Ian Bishop, and it is a ball that has reaped reward for the quicker bowlers here at the Chepauk. For now, it's back to spin in the form of Roelof van der Merwe. Down the ground. Oh, magnificent from Mukamala. Base spin, doesn't matter, another 6.
And this redounds to the intent and the positivity that is shown. He's thinking boundary first up. So if it's in his arc, it's out of the park. You can't afford to be that full on this surface. Needs to pull his length back. Roelof van der Merwe, that's too easy.
It'll be in the gap. Fielder does well. It's into the third ball of his third over. Van der Merwe, he's not bowled a dot ball yet. They've taken a liking to him tonight, the United States batters.
He adjusted the length a little bit, but more than that, his previous delivery was much slower than the first. So he's trying different things. He's been around for quite some time, Van der Merwe.
Good work from Colin Ackerman. That's another two. That's the length.
Yeah, what's quite noticeable, Ronak, is even though there's absolutely no pace on that delivery, it still comes on nicely onto the bat to play that shot over extra cover, that far in front. That's because the ball is coming on.
It's keeping the outfielders on the offside busy this over. The third two on the trot, and what the United States batters should acknowledge is it's probably going to stay just as good in the chase, and the Netherlands need to be aware of that.
Yeah, that's intelligence. A couple strokes to the right of the fielder, then to the left and running hard. You're right. How many must they get, which is above par given what we've seen so far?
That's why it's just one or two quiet overs sometimes that can be the difference. 14 of Van der Merwe's over. It's 136 for 3. And before we get into the final six, the players take a break for a drink and maybe some fruit. That's what you want from your top three. Quick fire start from rejig to top order. Monang Patel, the captain. Walking out at the top, Shayan Jahangir added the early impetus. But Mukamala, Sai Teja Mukamala is the star of this inning so far. It's been hard work for everyone but Bas de Leede. Well, they launched well, 56 in the power play. And then it was time for Mukamala to launch. Monang Patel was looking good until he was outfoxed by the knuckleball from Bas de Leede. Then the 21-year-old took over. It's the clean ball striking. The other end, Sanjay Krishnamurthy got a good one. Just rolled his fingers on there, did Fred Klaasen through the gate. Shubham Ranjan has just joined Mukamala, but Sai Teja, terrific. It's a lot of tall towers. Head of Scott Edwards just getting his team together. Perhaps just seeing what you and me were discussing, Samuel Badri, that yep, they've had some fun, the ball's flying to all parts, but we're backing ourselves to chase. And we just try and get 2 or 3 quiet overs. Looks like 200, can we make it 180?
Safe. It's just a moment. Oh, what a catch! What a piece of individual brilliance! Van der Merwe! Goodness me! The passport says he's old, his legs say he isn't.
Well, the passport still says he's old, but we know what Roelof van der Merwe is about. What an iconic moment in the history of this tournament. Now it's time for the United States to keep the acceleration going. Fred Klaasen, success for him around the wicket, using the angles into the right-hander. Probably the plan with the keeper up again. Just reliving a magical moment at the catch. Roelof van der Merwe back in Adelaide on what was a day where South Africa's fate was sealed, and Pakistan ended up getting the most dramatic backdoor entry. The semi-finals. Netherlands winning by 13 runs. It was all for South Africa to do. And they didn't do it. And a catch by van der Merwe. David Miller was something Dale Steens tried to forget. Up and over, touch and go for the fielder, but they've been fabulous. The Netherlands, they have given this everything.
Yeah, really wonderful stuff. The desperation that's needed when your team is under pressure, when your bowlers are under pressure. This is what you want to see in the outfield. Ryan Kashe with that wonderful effort. Just to lift someone, to lift the team. This is such an important over as well, Ronak, especially when you consider how many wickets have fallen after the water break. When momentum sort of stops and then you have to regain that, sometimes you lose a little bit of concentration and you lose a wicket, a crucial wicket. So if they can see out this one, get a few runs in it, and then get back that little momentum as they head to the final phase.
And therefore every run saved be valuable, and Zach Leon Kashe was excellent. So easily have dragged onto the stumps, and get the feeling, Samuel Badri, that this might be a close one. Therefore, all these runs that they save in the outfield, well appreciated. The cricket-loving faithful here in Chennai. Hats off to all of you in and around the Chepauk. Every game coming. That is a top shot. May not have got the timing that we initially thought. It was a hit of a length, hit on the up.
Yeah, they're running them ragged. Quite a lot of twos in the innings. But importantly, as you mentioned, they're trying to restrict the boundary flow. The Dutch.
The fielders will just watch that sail over. They thought they could get an over through without a boundary. Mukamala says, no, I have other plans. On to 74 he goes. And the USA 148 for 3.
Yeah, short. He's been there for some time, so he knows exactly how this surface is playing. And he wanted a boundary in the over. He was searching for something. Closes off the over well, gets 12 from it.
Some really good strokes being played. Mukamala is brilliant. Logan van Beek. Small side of the ground, so only one. Dale Steyn, what's your impression of some of the batting, and particularly this young man that we've seen here?
Incredibly good. Very brave batting too. Mukamala, 74, 45. He's just taken it on when he has to. He's looked still at the crease. Played aggressively when the ball has been in the area to hit it. Especially some of the sixes that he's hit. It's been incredible tonight. And a true reflection of how good this pitch is playing right now. 149 after 15. Almost a chance down a third man. And if they keep going at this rate right now, 9.8 the over. Looking at close to 200 for the USA right now.
suppose the question that Netherlands fans will be asking is what does the great Dale Steyn recommend be done here in this phase? Might come back to that if nothing happens. Yeah, too short. I think he's right, Logan. I think he's right. He wants to review, Logan. They don't review it here. But I think it looked as though it had some height. Might see it from square on again.
I think this is exactly what I'd be suggesting if I was the bowling coach. Try and make the USA play more square off the back foot, especially playing the pull shot. They're really good when you get full to them and they're allowed to hit you down the ground or over extra cover. Just having another look from side on. It was nice and high, way above the head. Logan van Beek suggesting there was a little bit of bat there.
He's had his little travails, Logan van Beek. Over the last part of 2025, he suffered a broken toe, I think it was, so he missed a good chunk of the early goings of the Super Smash and domestic cricket. But thankfully, he's regained fitness, but he was a little while out of the game because of the injured foot. Bat. Kind of understand what he's tried to do there with the big side of the ground offside, tried to bring him wide. Dale Steyn says, pack up your bowlers in the field. Cover very, very deep on the circle, point and deep and short third as well. That ball is gold. And speaking of backing up in the field, from Logan van Beek, just 5 off it. Over number 16, 153 for 3. Dale Steyn, you would have witnessed this. It's a big score, but they've shown great energy, Netherlands, in the field.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where Netherlands are really good. Often they do well with the extras. They back their bowlers up in the field. They take their catches, led by that man right there on the screen. Roelof van der Merwe. Fantastic fielder.
So some little insight into if they keep a certain rate going. Baz de Leede, the 3 deep leg side fielders, look for his variation again. We were talking last night, Dale, about some of the associate nations, and we only call them associates because they're not test playing nations. It's not being disparaging, but several of them, not all, seem to put so much more emphasis on fielding. And there's a lot of speculation as to why. I have my own view, but what do you think?
I think it's just their way of competing. They have to look at ways, especially when they're not playing against the bigger nations more often with the batting. Another good slower ball, just dragged to the leg side. Chance they could run too, but this is what we talk about. This is the good fielding. Oh, direct hit would have had him. A direct hit would have probably seen the end. But it's exactly this that the Netherlands and the associate teams talk about. It's just in the field where they can save a couple more runs, because with their batting, a direct hit would have been curtains.
And that fine leg went back for that very reason, that short ball, short, slower ball to protect the bigger side of the ground. With Saidija Mukamala, age 21, American born, but Indian heritage, already has 100 in this format of the game. Is lighting up this venue here tonight. 100 against Oman, February 2025, or 48 deliveries. As he hit it, it lands safely.
Just the scoring areas tonight. Look at that, 54% of the runs in this region over extra cover. Anything that's been over pitched and full, latched onto it. Lovely extra cover, lofted cover drives, always wonderful to watch. Cricket shot, really, not a slog across the line. Good cricket shot.
That's a big side of the ground. It's a chance. It is a chance. Skyer taken. Mukamala finally goes, and the leader again with that short ball. Sensible bowling to the big side.
Now, lots of changes here by Bastelera. It's slower balls, it's full balls, it's slower ball bounces. And Mukamala, who's batted so beautifully tonight. This one may have just rushed him a little bit. He got a lot of height on it, but not enough distance. Ackerman takes a really good catch. Netherlands always good in the field, backing their bowlers up. Brings an end to a wonderful innings from Mukamala, 79 or 51. USA 159 for 4.
To go. Milind Kumar comes to the crease. 4 deep fielders leg side again. Pace off. Very, very impressive again from Bastelera. 160 for 4. 'Who's young in the game and new to the game. His father was a stalwart for the Netherlands back in the day. You played against his dad? No? Just missed him? I aged you there for a minute? I'm so sorry. Blackburn Dale's team, you're in the dugout, you're in the camp. How are you saying to the USA batsmen to construct this finishing effort for 3-0?
Tough one. You want to keep going, especially when you've got wickets in hand, only being 4 down. But it's not about going out there and just slogging and swinging. The Netherlands, they've played at this level for many a year now, been to many World Cups. They'll come up with smart plans, so have to be on the money in terms of your shot selection and force the Netherlands to bowl into the areas where you'd like to score.
I love what Bastelera has done tonight. He's picked up 2 wickets with 2 short deliveries, but the 2 short deliveries have a different pace. That's not always a straightforward catch. was in the air forever. It was high. See those go down. Got it fine. Outstanding. Good awareness.
This is exactly what we were talking about. You have to try and score in the areas where you're comfortable. Netherlands will change the pace. They'll bowl the odd short ball. This is a slower ball. Just rushing him a little bit, but getting enough bat on it to beat short 45. Scoop. Very inventive and rewarding shot when played well.
Amat has had enough of me here for the moment, and she's left the commentary box. Where are you, Katie?
I tell you what, Bish, I'm not on the ground like you were the other day, but it is dewy, so I'm glad you're not out here. But in the dugout of the USA, I tell you what, there is tension building. You can feel it in the air because it's a must-win game for them. See Harmit Singh behind me was batting. He was shadow batting, just trying to work out what his shot options were. They need to push a 190 score here to be able to give themselves a chance to stay in this tournament. Lovely shot there. It's all about the change of pace here for the Netherlands, but it is a really nice energy that's going around the field here. The coaches, you can see a little bit of nervousness. There was some fingers that were getting bitten before as well because they know the importance of this game. I love the way the Netherlands are pulling this back. It's so beautiful, the ebbs and flows of the game, Bish. I tell you what, the dew is starting to set in, so it's just going to continue to skid on. Yulbu will be important. Every single run here is gold.
To get inside the line of it, just sway inside so he can hit it towards that leg side and over it.
Lovely shot, great option. Using the pace, it's a slower ball bouncer, but getting in the line, inside the line, using the pace of Klein. Beautiful shot. 64 meters to the shorter boundary, but it all counts. Klein probably going to look to go wide outside off now.
Brave. Some batting.
18 overs down, USA.
174 for 4. Some nice high towers. Can they have that final kick? Can they get 20 or more in these last two? Can Netherlands stop them from getting that with a deep point, long off, long on, deep mid-wicket and deep square? Such a wonderful strike. Lost his length, I think, past the leader. But my gosh, Shivam.
The first time De Leer has missed his length. He's over-pitched this one, slower ball. USA capitalise. A boundary early in the over really sets you up for a potential big one. 11 balls to go. They don't have to hit every ball for 6 or for 4. Ideally, they would love to. But if they can identify 3 or 4 boundary options and then run hard, 200 is on the cards right now for USA.
That's playing the field. It really is playing the field. He knew that Baz, the leader, would pull his length back, but with a short, fine leg, he said thank you.
Great batting, great cricket awareness. Just picking up on the fact that the Lera has overpitched the first ball. You know that he's going to drag his length back, as Ian Bishop just mentioned. Again, getting inside. It's one of his shot options today. Now we see a change in field. Midoff coming up into the ring. Fine leg going back just to cut that off right now. I look to him to stand strong and tall right now and try and bang it back over Midoff.
And when you talk about Milind Kumar, who's on strike now, of course, many people know he has an extensive first-class career. He obviously originates from Delhi. His very first-class game, he scored 110 against Haryana. He then moved over to play for Sikkim in 2018-19 and was the leading run scorer in the Ranji Trophy at the time. Record number of runs, 1,331. So extensive experience. Was with Delhi Daredevils as well, and RCB. Oh, that's a good catch, is it? A good catch, short ball again. That's the leader. That is good from Scott Edwards. I wish Katie Martin were here. The moving was very good.
Assisting with the slower ball bouncer, Baz de Lera being rewarded, and Milan doing the right thing, walking off, not waiting for the umpire. Thick glove there, good catch. Scott Edwards with the gloves, he doesn't drop many. Fantastic deft bowling this by Baz de Lera. Milan Kumar has gone for 3, USA 185 for 5.
Seven, 5. Of course, the run chase. Vital points available for one of these teams tonight. Netherlands coming off a win. USA looking for their first win. The run chase, don't miss it. They won't. Sportsman, loves his basketball. He'll be hoping to be tidy here. Right, wide outside the off stump with a big side offside on that occasion.
Very clever bowling this. I was talking to the Netherlands camp just before the toss, and they were asking I asked them what a good total would be. They thought that with the dew, that if they were chasing, USA needed a little bit extra, 15 odd runs. So they needed to defend that right now. USA have done a great job of almost reaching that 190. If they can get a couple boundaries in this over right now, 200 on the cards, then there's a lot of pressure.
Wicket long on and square leg are about 8 meters off the ropes. Not gone anywhere. Not gone anywhere. Easy catch. Hard length. Roelof van der Merwe. Still mobile and still has good hands.
The death end of the game, you have your best fielders in the busiest areas, and Rudolf van der Merwe is exactly that. Again, a good change of pace. New batter walks in, hasn't quite picked up the pace of the wicket just yet. Plays a big old slog, goes up in the air. Rudolf van der Merwe. Wonderful catch. Knocked a couple teams out of World Cups with the hands that he's got with his fielding. Fantastic. Ahmed Singh, he's gone for one. USA 188 for 6.
This has been a very good comeback from Logan van Beek. His very first ball today went for 6. But he's pulled things back. I mean, it's only a small sample size, the one ball, but that could have spoiled an entire spell, a night. Given the strike over.
Again, slower ball into the wicket. Always difficult if you've just walked out to the crease. Mixed soil, red and black soil. That means that black soil will create a couple change of pace, will grip and turn just a little bit. The red soil will give it that extra bounce. So real good pitch tonight.
Oh, wide. Square leg said wide for height. Square leg said wide for height. And he was right. Alan Wilkins standing behind us is never going to make a good umpire. He was questioning it. That's why you were a fast bowler, Alan. They do come back for 2. And so Dowd doing the fielding. You're right about that putter. This is Katie Martin's point, Dale, and you would know about it. The ability to have variation, to take the ball outside the eye line of the left-hander, and then to bowl the leg cutter and take it outside the eye line of the right-hander is something very few bowlers are able to do. But if you can do it, it's brilliant. Side, they only take 2. They only get 2. They don't sacrifice there. I think they were checking it.
Now 194 now with a ball to go. This is the slow ball that we were talking about. It's worked well for the Netherlands tonight. Just get the feeling that Logan van Beek's going to finish off with that exact delivery. One big shot here gets them to 200.
Should get 2. Well, they'll attempt to get 2. Keep us in. Way off target, but it's a good knock from Shimon. He's gassed. He's pulling in the big ones, but he's played an important hand. 48 from 24 to propel the USA to 196 for 6. They've had some really, really good contributions, not least from Saiteja Mukamala with his half century, but well played, Shubham.